everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nail Daher. I have been consulted by the GFAR, the Global Forum on Agricultural Research and Innovation, to work on this initiative. I'm absolutely honored to be here and talk on in the NENA region. We are also delighted to have you in this meeting as representative of NARS, the National Agricultural Research System in your country. Our agenda today starts with welcoming and opening remarks by the strategic advisor, Dr. Karim Hussein at GFAR, it looks like something went wrong with him. He's not yet joining us, but we'll start and we will not put anyone on hold. Then, as a GNC, a Global NARS Consortium specialist, I will talk about the GNC implementation plan. Then we are also proud to have the Director General of the National Agricultural Research Center in Jordan, Dr. Nizar Haddad, with us to speak and talk briefly on the National Agricultural Research System. Then we will have a closing remarks by the Executive Secretary. And let me here say, I wanted to express our gratitude to AARINENA's support represented by Dr. Rida Shibli. Without them, we would not have this great connection with you. It looks like Karim a presentation. Oh. Yes. Okay, is that clear? So in this meeting, it's we call it a regional e-meeting in the run-up of the global launch of the GNC, the Global NARS Consortium, that will happen in June 2024. So I will give you just a background what happened through the GFAR, the Global Forum on Agricultural Research and Innovation. They are working on making agri-food research and innovation more effective, responsive, and equitable towards the SDG outcomes. In March 2023, GFAR developed a Global NARS Consortium based on the declaration signed in Bangkok, and they were representative of all regions, sub-regions from different countries. So the objective of the GNC to strengthen and amplify the global voice of NARS, and we define the National Agricultural Research System that you are covered, all public and semi-public stakeholders involved in research, development, innovation in a country. So we are talking about the National Agricultural Research Centers, institutes, organizations under the umbrella of the government, academic institutions, universities, and government laboratories. So all of these are part of the NARS. As a result, GFAR will facilitate and host inter-regional face-to-face dialogue among regional agricultural research and innovation to strengthen the multi-stakeholder governance, partnership management, management of change, and monitoring, evaluation, and learning. And possibly they will be co-hosting with the Tropical Agricultural Platform in Africa. So what are the global NARS includes? We are in the NENA region, the Near East and North Africa, and this region divided to sub-regions such as Maghreb, Nile Valley and Red Sea, Mashriq, Arabian Peninsula, West Asian. And there are other regions who were in the declaration in Bangkok, such as CACAARI, and that includes some countries or most of the countries in Central Asia, Caucasus region, APAARI in the Southeast Asia, FORAGRO, most of the country in South America, and FARA in Africa. So to implement the GNC plan, we have identified NARS, National Agricultural Research System, within the NENA region by utilizing the resources available and provided, and AARINENA had full support for their networking and collaboration with other institutions in the region. Then we validated these national agricultural research system and compiled it in a comprehensive list in an Excel sheet with all required and necessary information. This will facilitate collaboration and knowledge exchange to prepare the global launch of the GNC in June 2024. And we also hope to invite all our participants for this face-to-face meeting. I guess probably Dr. Rida will confirm that it might be in Rome, Italy, the global launch of the GNC, and you are part of it. I will do other arrangement later on the way. So then we validated the process by verifying the identified NARS through a systemic validation process, ensuring accuracy and relevance. We looked at artificial intelligence search and website of the NARS that are available online. There were some challenges in getting some information, the change in managements also within the NARS system. But we wrote all of these findings during the validation stage. Also, we have initiated the contact, and we are lucky also to have well-established contact through AARINENA with your organizations, with your institutes, whether it is national research centers, academic institution, government laboratories, to explain what is the GNC and its objectives. Then we provided the necessary information in that document and addressed any inquiries they may have from our also participants. This is how it looks like, the identification and mapping of the NARS. We went through all the institutions, and mainly the research method was AI as suggested. The region we are talking about, the NENA region, and the countries in which country. And we also consider some classification by the World Bank, the latest classification, if it is low income country, low to middle income country, middle to high income countries, and the status if they are engaged, onboarding, active, inactive. and I can see most of the NARS are active and engaged in the region. And we also identify the contact names, positions through these organizations. We gathered more information on the research focus areas, whether it is agriculture, food security, food and nutrition, forestry, life sciences. So all of this under the umbrella of research and development and innovation. So we are moving forward to complete the process of discipline and the implementation of discipline by explaining engagement and benefits, and follow up and onboarding before the global launch in June 2024. So what are the benefits of the GNC? So the GFAR seeks to strengthen the global voice, enhance the influence, and improve the resource base and capacities of national agricultural research system, as well as strengthen the collaboration and linkages among partners. There will be collaboration also from NARS in other regions. As I mentioned, these regions, APAARI, FARA, other also regions that will allow for more partnership, collaboration in the region on research and development. So, and then this regional e-meeting is to inform you about the process and what GFAR was doing in the run-up to the global launch of the GNC, increasing awareness and increasing engagement and participation in the GNE. There will be agenda, sessions, and logistics. We will inform you with all of these ahead of time before the global launch. And we will be in contact with you. With that, I'll finish my presentation and thank you. I'll give the floor now to Dr. Nizar Haddad, the Director General of the National Agricultural Research Center, to talk briefly about the NARS, National Agricultural Research System. And Dr. Haddad has long experience with this system and as expert in the NARS also, working in the top management, and his connection, networking with many of you are very obvious on the national and regional level. So if you can, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nael. Friends, colleagues, it's, it's great pleasure and honor to be nominated to give few words and refer to the NARS, but I think each of you can present even better than me. I will be like preaching to the converted about the value of having national agricultural research systems. So I believe that I have to say that what have been done by now through GFAR and through this very important initiative to start this consortium is really very valuable. I believe Dr. Rida will have what to add and to top up on what I'm just saying hello, I would say. And Dr. Nael, thank you also for the introduction. I believe that having all of those director generals of most of the research institutes in the region, plus having Dr. Abdul Wahab Zayed and Dr. Tarifa and all the team here, will be a very important added value. I don't want to add more, but as the scientific arm here of the Ministry of Agriculture and the Agriculture Research Center, is kind of not only scientific arm for the ministry, but rather for the sector. And these days, because of we learned the lesson in the hard way that we have to really to cooperate with the private sector, because they are the one who is going to adopt those techniques and technologies that we can bring up to the table. So thank you very much, Nail and Dr. Ridwan. What I would say that any support or help from our side, we are ready to do, and I'm sure everyone on the table are even more capable than me to give an introductory speech for this very important subject. So thank you very much, Nail, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much for your kind words and insights on the GNC, Dr. Nizar. Before we do the closing remarks by the Executive Secretary of AARINENA, I would like to have questions and answers if we can provide any further information to participants. So we will be glad. Either myself or Dr. Rida will answer. Please feel free if you have any questions and answers.
Good morning. My name is Khalid Hardan. I'm just confusing that if we are invited as higher education or by mistake, because I know National Agriculture Research Center, Dr. Abu Eid is representative to Palestine, and our research center is belong to a university. We are in Jordan Valley, the only research center in the Palestinian Jordan Valley. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yani, if he received an invitation or maybe he didn't see an invitation. Anyway, I'm happy to be with you today, and we also really we want to develop the agricultural sector in all the region, not only in Palestine. And maybe we give, I'm not prepare myself, but we work on several topics in our research center, from breeding. We work on salinity, soil salinity, water salinity. We work on, we have algae. We produce spirulina, the only center who produces spirulina in Jordan Valley. Right now it's for research. We work on date palm irrigation and subsurface irrigation. We have on pollination for date palm, several topics in addition to the research for students. With the students, they are applying their research, graduation research in our research center. And we work on some plants like quinoa for drought. And my colleagues also here is Dr. Aziz. He is also work on several topics regarding to breeding, and on wheat and lentils, and on date palm, or several issues.
Yeah.
So this is in general our work.
Okay, so we'll answer very quickly. Dr. Khalid, you are at a university, and university is part of the NARS, or it's part of the National Agricultural Research System,
Yes.
as we define them. So you are welcome to be with us, engaging, participating in upcoming events. We have sent invitation to at least 2 to 3 identified NARS in each country in the ARINENA region. So whoever has the time to participate, probably people also are busy at this time, but we have very limited time within January to hold this meeting. So if you can convey our message to him.
Inshallah, I will do.
About what we are doing right now, and he is welcome to join us any time. Dr. Rida, you wanna comment before I give the floor to Dr. Tarifa?
Well, okay. Actually, what happened in Bangkok, that the regional fora, they were discussing this issue under the umbrella of GFAR, is to establish a consortium for the NARS, the National Agricultural Research Systems. And when we talk about systems, that include the NARCs and include universities, it includes international centers in the region, include all of those ones. So the idea is, how can we get the NARS to get together and to work under one consortium, and then they can collaborate, they can work together in projects, they can work together and communicate in different activities and training and different aspects. So at that time, actually, the discussion was about the declaration of the consortium. And then after that, at every region now, they have got a consultant to communicate and to discuss the issue before the launching, which will be in June. And I'm sure all of you will be invited for the launching in June in Rome. So this issue will be discussed and everybody will be aware of the concept of the consortium. So this is actually the point here, is how to get people from different regions to get together, and from those different NARS systems in every fora to get together. So that's why in AARINENA, actually, we were there, and that's we asked the Dr. Nael to get in communication with everybody. So by the end, we will be together in Rome to join the launching of the consortium at that time, and at least we will be involved of how this consortium will work and how can we get involved with work with other regions and with people from different parts of the world. So this is actually what has happened at that time. Sorry, Dr. Tarifa, I think, wants to ask something.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Again, it's such a pleasure to be among colleagues, friends, and professionals in the fields. Definitely. Thank you for having me with you today. It's more of a comments and a questions. I mean, I salute Dr. Khalid for bringing in the higher education component, because by the end of the day, it's very much important for us to link with universities. Usually, we would need to look at the young peoples and look also at the fresh ideas and perspectives, especially when it comes to technologies and AI. I think we would need to empower the higher education institutions, university, to feed in the research agenda for us as a National Research Center and also International Research Center. My questions highly touched based upon by Dr. Rida. I was asking about what is the operational model? I mean, what is the ecosystem model that we're going to build in to ensure that kind of collaboration between the research center, the universities, the consultants, the different contributor to this consortium? I think it's important to be clear with this model, because that will bring us the sustainability, and then we would be to build on our strength. Dr. Khalid also nicely mentioned a number of areas that they work on. It's similar areas that also ICBA is working in: the salinity, the date palms, the quinoa, the breeding programs when it comes to different aliphatic crops. Date palms also with Dr. Maali Zaid with us here. So there are so many areas where we overlap. It will be nice for us to look at where do we overlap in order for us to bring in the strength in and complement the strength of each other. And what do we really lack? So it becomes more of a research priority for us, since we are now starting and putting our research priority for 2024 and 2025 onward. So we complement each other and make sure that we have a very nice spread out of research agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Actually, it happens Dr. Karim Hussein from GFAR should be with us, and he's the guy in charge actually of the whole issue of the GNC, the consortium. But actually, yes, this is the major component of the work. Is after Dr. Nael is finishing his consultation and communicated with all the NARS in the region and give the people get what's going on and why is this declaration. Actually, the GFAR will formulate the structure of the GNC, and then after that, everybody will be contacted on what's going on, and that's why we are going to go to the launching during June, and everybody will be invited to the launching to join the launching. And before that, yes, the structure and how this system is going to work, it will be clear. But at the beginning, actually, they hired a consultant from each region, and Dr. Nail is from the NENA region, to start working and communicating with the people and discuss the idea of the consortium with them and why is the consortium and how it's going to work. And I think, Dr. Nail, there will be another meeting after some time when they finish part of the work in this essence. But yes, what you are talking about, this is what GFAR is working on, is to have this consortium in a good structure where people could work together. But I mean, we are not talking about what people are working on, because yes, salinity is at the university, salinity is in your center, salinity is at NARS. That's but the consortium is really how to get people get together and involved together, and then they can know each other, they can work together, they can get projects, they can get training courses, workshops, etc., working together. So this is actually why GFAR went for this subject, in order to get people together. But hopefully Karim will join us, and because he is prepared to answer about the consortium much better than me.
Thank you,
Dr. Tarifa, for your questions. The operation model is very important. I think the next step after we have you as participant engaged for the GNC. I think there will be operation model for the whole region, including institution, organization, universities, how they can come together, collaborate together, change of management, as I mentioned, and possibly also collaborating with other big platform in other regions, like TAP and FAO. I think we will notify, inform you more details about the operation model in the coming days.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nayan. We'll receive it.
Thank you, Dr. Tarifa. Dr. Dedem from Turkey, and then Dr. Abdul Wahab Zaid, inshallah. You are muted. You are muted. You are muted.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, hello again and greetings from Turkey. This is my first experience in your meetings, and I'm attending on behalf of DG Mr. Metin Türker, Agricultural Research and Policies General Directorate from Turkey. I want to thank you for your presentation and for your information. I think you have also experience about TAGEN in Turkey, but I would like to summarize that we have great experience in field crops, horticultural crops, plant protection, animal health, food and feed, livestock, fisheries, agricultural economy, soil and water resources, and some other specific areas. And we are ready right now to share our experiences with you, and we are ready to contribute in capacity sharing also. And also I would like to mention that we have great experience in climate change adaptation, mitigation, drought, water and food security. capacity. So we are ready to cooperate, and I fully agree with Dr. Tarifa for the linkage in universities. I think it's a really good way to develop capacity and to cooperate in other ways. So we are ready to contribute to GNC. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Didem, for your insights. Sharing this experience from Turkey, the Minister of Agriculture and Policy. We appreciate your support and dedication for the GNC. Dr. Rida would like to comment.
Well, I think, we have been working with Turkey for over years, and Dr. Sunmez, and now with the new director, and we will meet in Oman maybe in less than a month. So yes, thank you for your support, and I think this is the way we can get together and get also researchers to work together and form consortiums, get the projects going. It was just yesterday we were arranging for 2 researchers, one from Morocco and one from Tunisia. They will join a project.
Thank you. Thank you. We are always ready to contribute and to cooperate.
I would like to thank you for inviting Khalifa International Award for Date Palm and Agricultural Innovation. And I do endorse what has been said earlier for these important participation to the Global NARS Consortium. I will not repeat what my dear Dr. Tarifa mentioned about the ability of the ICBA, but also of Khalifa International Award and other institutions that are new to your system. I want just to mention that we did develop through the last 17, 18 years, a great experience dealing with date palm research and development, not just in UAE, but in most of the palm date producing and processing countries. So we have a lot of things to share. We have this spirit here in UAE for sharing, and we will be happy to share all our modest experience with the GNC. Another important aspect is COP28 just a few weeks ago, and there were a lot of positive outcomes that could be picked up from there. Each one of us in his or her field, international world, we are willing to continue with a lot of positive focus on the date palm and carbon footprints. The reason why, as you know, you are talking about the NENA region, there is more than 100 million date palm trees. And an average amount of CO2 that is being stored and stopped from its emission back to the air is about 400 kilo per day tree. This is huge things, and we need all to help each other on making sure that UAE has developed a technology in regard to measuring such a relationship, but also we are willing to put it and share it with everybody. So I'll be looking forward for the next meetings, and great hello from Abu Dhabi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abdul Wahab. Your contributions support are highly appreciated, and we can emphasize that your participation in every event in the MENA region, your support, and lately in the International Conference on Date Palm in Jordan, which was an amazing event that gathered all researchers from organizations, institutions, universities, private sectors at conference. So we are proud of your organization. Khalifa Award is always there, and that's why we are more interested in what's going on in the date palm as an important crop in the region. And now after the COP28, you are talking about the carbon footprint, which is very important for the region. Thank you, Dr. Abdul Wahab. Dr. Rida?
Well, I think what Khalifa International Date Palm Award done is a model that we really, whatever we say, we appreciate what you have done so far. So I think this is a great opportunity to have the award in the consortium, because yes, this is what is the consortium for, is to get those NARS together and to get the people to learn and to open venues for the people from different regions to get together and for the researchers to join each other, to learn from each other. And this is actually the mission, I think, of every NARS, is to do that. So that's the consortium is established for this kind of work. So I really appreciate Dr. Abdul Wahab. Whatever I say, I think I'm not going to say to the extent what you have done for us in every event, in every aspect, in every work. You are almost everywhere now advocating the date palm worldwide. So thank you so much.
Well, if I may just add one more thing, Dr. Nail, dear colleagues. In 2022, we did organize here in Abu Dhabi, I mean, the government of UAE did organize the 7th International Date Palm Conference. And for the last 7 events, we'd always in parallel organize something or assist in organizing something. And I had the pleasure in collaboration with ICARDA, we did organize the NARS international meeting with the CGR and so on. So, and we took most of the, organizational logistics related to such event, even though we are not that close, but we felt there is a need for Khalifa Award to participate. And I am sure whoever attended that meeting was happy with the outcome of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Milad, you are muted.
Thank you, Dr. Nael. Greetings to everyone. I'm Milad Riyeshi from the Lebanese Agricultural Research Institute. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to be and inviting the Lebanese Agricultural Research Institute, LARI, to be member of this consortium. As you may know, LARI is leader in the Agricultural Research Institute in Lebanon, and myself, I'm working mainly on olive and olive oil, but my institute has broad experience in plant diseases, in all agricultural production systems, in agrometeorological stations and agrometeorology, in plant breeding, plant biotechnology, plant production, and plant protection. So we are ready to collaborate, and as always we did, especially we collaborated a lot with NARC in several projects, and also we were so happy to host Dr. Rida here in Lebanon and to discuss several possibilities for collaboration. As I said, we are ready to collaborate all together, and we are so happy to be member in this consortium. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Milad, for your support. Dr. Fadila?
Good morning, everybody, and I thank you for the good presentation and the information you give me. So Kuwait, as Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research, they were working in date palm protection through tissue culture from 90s, and the method for protection of date palm. Now, Kuwait facing a problem with this date palm after producing through tissue culture, and also for the date palm, which is already producing in a normal way, that we have a lot of disease infected, and we are trying now to study most of this disease, but because we don't have and too much expertise in this field, and Dr. Rida and Dr. We ask you for that one, and we are appreciate if we are just sharing the other country, and we are part of that event, and if because we will get an advantage of this one to have an expertise who can help us in date palm disease, and also not in that one, but also in protection or develop this field in Kuwait, because it's very important for Kuwait. And CACAARI appreciate your invitation, and also CACAARI appreciate if we are be part of this event. I mean, in Rome. Thank you for your inviting me to just explain the field that CACAARI need to be or need help in this field. Thank you very much.
Well, actually, Dr. Fadila, thank you so much. But also, I would like to thank Dr. Nizar Haddad, because he just responded to the call by the time you sent me an email about that, and I think he's now arranging with the people at the NARC to help.
Yes,
in that
Doctor.
direction.
If
also,
I just interrupt you, I would like to thank Dr. Haddad also. I didn't forget, but because I started talking, so time is taken with me without thanking him. I thank him very much.
Yes. Okay. But also at the same time, since we are talking about NARS Consortium, this is actually part of the work that Dr. Fadila also in their laboratory, they need to test date palm varieties from different regions for their resistance to Bayoud disease. I don't know what's the scientific name of Bayoud, but they are looking for getting samples from everywhere to test for resistance or tolerance to the disease, and they are working at the genetic structure and at that level. So hopefully from the colleagues also who are joining us today, or from other researchers in different research centers, if somebody could really help in getting samples to go to the laboratory and to be studied. Also at the same time, I would like to thank Dr. Ravi and Dr. Hildegard. Actually, Ravi is the chairperson of GFAR, and Hildegard is the executive secretary of GFAR. And I am a member of the executive committee of GFAR. So actually, this is one of the different initiatives where GFAR is working on, is to establish this consortium, which I think now in our discussion, we need a consortium really to work with the people in the world. So thank you for your support, Dr. Fadila. And I will do my best also to help in the ongoing project at your side if we can find people. But also maybe through Dr. Abdul Wahab, we might work with Morocco and with other countries. You might get some samples from there for the ongoing project at your laboratory. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Fadila. Dr. Qasim? Oh, sorry, Dr. Yasser, sorry.
Hello, everyone. This is Yasser Abu Nasser from the American University of Beirut. I'm Associate Dean of the faculty and representing our Dean who couldn't attend today. I have, just to give you a brief of what we're doing at the university level. Then I have one question in this regard. I don't know if you're familiar with our faculty, but there's a lot of work. We have different programs and executive programs, as well as research related to food security, agribusiness, obviously food and nutrition. We also have some specialty on food packaging as well, sustainability and impact on environment and so forth. We also focus a lot on rural development, which I think, and the connection to food production, and empowerment of local women who are really leading on different co-ops in rural areas and different rural development areas, which I think is a strong strength in what we do. We also do a lot of work on remote sensing as well, looking at large-scale agricultural land, looking at aridity, loss of water, irrigation, and impact on different crop production types and so forth, as well as we're beginning to bring in the AI into our remote sensing work. So we have also a strong angle on looking at water as well. I don't know if you all know, which is the Agricultural Research Center, in addition to the faculty in Beirut. My question to the group, I mean, I'm new to all of this. I don't know if our dean has been involved in this before, but you know, this is focused on partly on national research centers, but I'm trying to understand. I understand, you know, the idea is to come up with a consortium, collaboration, and so forth. To what extent will this consortium understand that? But sometimes, you know, these objectives remain objectives on paper, but I'm talking about implementation. How do we bring these national research centers, these academic centers, and I forgot who mentioned the private sector, because at the end of the day, if our research and our work doesn't find its way into the market, you know, how much are we actually doing? So how will, maybe that touches upon the question of the operational model that was asked before as well, but how will this trilogy work? How will these three components work together in an effective way? Thank you. And I will have to leave in like 3-4 minutes. I have another meeting also. So thank you so much for everyone.
Do you want me to answer, Dr. Nael?
Okay, go ahead. Yes, please.
Dr. Yasser, thank you for your question. Actually, I think you joined us a little bit late. So NARS is not NARCS. NARC is the National Agriculture Research Center. NARS is the National Agriculture Research Systems, which include NARCS, include schools of agriculture, agriculture research centers at universities, includes the national international centers which are involved, include all of those different systems, because it's a system. So EFARD is part of that, ICBA would be part of that, Khalifa International Award would be part of that. So all the people are involved. Schools of agriculture, yes, they are core part of the NARS system. So that's why Dr. Nael communicated with universities and schools of agriculture to join the discussion today. So all of the people are involved, and the system, the consortium is to get people in the NARS to join each other. We are at the NENA region. There are people from other regions also, they are doing the same thing. And in June, there will be a launching for the consortium. So that's why the consortium could get to the different institutions to get together, and then after that they can work together in order to achieve the goals of the establishment of this consortium, to get collaboration, to get people to get together, and to get the people involved with those different activities together. So but usually we go to NARC, we go then to the research centers, and when we go to the universities, to the schools of agriculture. So that's the systems where they are involved in the agriculture research in the region. So today we are AARINENA. Dr. Nael contacted us. We gave him the names and addresses of people in the region. So that's why he contacted the people to start discuss this issue with them. Then we will move to the next step. And as Dr. Tarif asked, there will be a structure, organizational structure of this consortium and how it can work with the regions and with the people involved in
and this will be discussed in the launch, right? If I understand correctly.
Yeah, in the launching, in the launching, they will
of the
discuss
consortium.
Before
the
that
operational.
also.
Yeah, it will be discussed before that, but in the launching, they will discuss the operation, how the system will operate and how it will work in the whole, in the different regions. Actually, it's not in only.
You know, I mean, it's a fantastic initiative, but at the same time, you know, a lot of initiatives lose their momentum after a bit. So my question is exactly what you're talking about: is how do we make it sustainable, long-term, collaborative, co-design, co-involvement? I think that's extremely important in
actually,
this
as I said,
discussion.
GFAR is taking care of the whole concept of the consortium, and they will continue supporting the work of the consortium after the launching in order to get the system working very well.
Thank you.
Dr. Yasser, very quickly, so there will be 2 to 3 identified NARS in each country in the region. And we hope that, okay, because we cannot get all. We cannot get all in that consortium, and people are different from their perspective. I think that very important to exchange information and knowledge in research and development, as all of you mentioned, your interest, and I can see that are very common among academic institutions, national agricultural research system, but how to exchange information, how to exchange or foster collaboration, partnership on funding, on projects. So I think one of the operation model would be a platform, digital platform that will connect all let's say NARS in the region, also with other regions, but we will inform you about the exact operation model before the launch of the global GNC.
Okay, it's much clearer. Thank you.
I just want to, if you will allow me, everyone, I just want to jump on what Dr. Yasser mentioned, just to bring in the importance of commercialization and productization of those end research, because this is exactly what we are looking forward to, Dr. Yasser, because that's what will bring us sustainability of all those research, moving from basic science to applied science, and then to have a full product developed and scale up. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Tarifa. Also, I would like to mention the GFAR recently got very great support from the CGIAR system in France. And also, as you may know, they are hosted by the FAO. So, and that would help to sustain their work, especially on this initiative, I think, in the future. Dr. Iman. Dr. Iman, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Greetings to all in this meeting. We are, initially, I want to present my thankful to invited us in this meeting. And we are in the Ministry of Agriculture in Iraq, placed to participate in this meeting, through which cooperation will be launched on the challenge faced by agriculture sector in plant and animal, especially climate change, because you know agriculture sector have depend on two resources, soil and water, and we are in the Ministry of Agriculture. There are administrative formation concerned with agriculture research through projects for strategic crops and vegetables, and development of salt and drought tolerance varieties, with the involvement specialists in other ministries in Iraq, and specialists in university and other research institute. So this is a good chance to exchange our specialists in these fields. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iman, for your support and engagement on this initiative. So now we got, if there is no more comments, to the end of our session.
I have a short
Dr.
comment.
Nizar has a comment, Dr.
Dr. Nizar, تفضل.
I just want to highlight that there is a clear movement worldwide that there is a need for strengthening of networking out of the box. So it's no more good to work between NARCs or NARCs or National Agriculture Research Centers only among them, or among the private sector within the same countries. So there is a clear movement that it's really good that GFAR itself, believe that the question that was just given by Dr. Yasser is very important, very crucial, very timely. However, why I feel a bit comfortable is that this initiative is being supported by the GFAR. And I think everyone came to the consensus or to the understanding that we cannot do everything on our own. We have to cut the cost by learning from other mistakes. So not only learning from our own mistakes. So I believe that the GFAR initiative and with this concept is really a very good initiative, and what increases the opportunity of the success is that it is being adopted within the system and also within the GFAR. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nizar. Too much about it. So we are filled with a profound sense of pride and gratitude for your support and participation as we embark on the GNC together with a common goal to empower ourselves and others with the knowledge in agriculture research, development, and innovation to shape the future of agriculture in our region. And would like to express many thanks to you and hope for continued connections with everyone. Thank you. Dr. Rida?
Well, I think the time was a little bit misleading. So I think now Dr. Augusto just joined us. So Dr. Augusto, hello? Dr. Augusto, do you hear me? Actually, first of all, I would like to thank GFAR, Dr. Ravi, Dr. Hildegard, Dr. Karim Hussein, and the group who's really worked for establishing this consortium, because this is really a great opportunity for us to work together. I think Dr. Hisham wants to say something. Dr. Hisham. His hand is raised.
Yes, good morning, everybody. So actually, I am a little bit confused because I thought that the meeting would be at 10 CET. It's the same time than Tunisia. I understand that you already started the meeting. Sorry, I don't know at what time you started this meeting. Anyway, so we are in charge of the coordination of the whole system of agriculture research centers and also of agricultural high schools. In total, there are 21. With regard to this initiative, actually, we fully support this good initiative, and it fits well with our priorities, and we are already actually involved in the AARINENA with the president, Dr. Rida. So we are active in this field, and I think this would be a good opportunity actually to work together and targeting also some challenges for Tunisia and for all. I think the WANA region, this issue of climate change, this issue of water scarcity, and so on. So for us, again, so I'm pleased actually to be with you today, and we hope that we will build on and to work together. And we fully support as ERISA, so this good initiative. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hisham. we apologize. We are very sorry for any confusion about the time. So we send the invitation the time 10 a.m. CEST, Central European Summer Time. So it's different from country to another country. So in Jordan, we started at 11. Okay, so I don't know about other.
Actually, because I checked the internet, so it would be the same time than Tunisia. This is for this I'm confused.
Okay, so
I don't know. Anyway, so
I'm happy that we are seeing you and you are with us.
Thank you.
The last 15, 20 minutes, that's fine. Now, I think also they were confusing with Dr. Karim. I think he was busy. And also Augusto. Dr. Karim, we need you. There was, before we end, we don't want to put the people on hold for a long time. There was very interesting question from Dr. Tarifa, the Director General of ICBA in the United Arab Emirates, on the operation model for the GNC. What's the plan? And we told him we will working on the process before the global launch in June 2024. All of participants are very supportive and engaged and dedicated for this initiative by the GFAR. So we would like to hear from you as a resource person and strategic advisor at GFAR, please. Thank you, Dick.
Thank you. I'm sorry that I wasn't there in this discussion, which clearly has been very productive. The confusion, I think the timing, I thought it was 10 o'clock, but I was a little bit late in any case, and I have to apologize for that because I was in a meeting with the chair of GFAR. So on this work to establish the GNC and getting the guidance. So just I just want to thank you all for your engagement and contribution and confirmation that the GNC is the Global NARS Consortium to be established in GFAR is a valuable initiative. And at the operational level, to answer the question, directly the question that was just posed, the plan, we are in the process of finalizing an overview report that will draw out the recommendations for follow-up in the next phase of the work to establish the GNC. At the moment, there are reports being finalized at the regional level by regional consultants in supporting and we've had results from AARINENA, Asia and Pacific region, and there will be reports from 2 other regions as well. These are going to be combined by our team in GFAR, going to be combined in an overview report with the key recommendations drawn out for follow-up from each of the regions. And so the plan is for this to be ready by the end of this month. And in addition to the overview report, then there will be some other elements of information as well that come out of the early work on the Global NARS Consortium and the identification of next steps. And the next steps, the immediate next steps, we're going to discuss in a meeting of the GNC advisory group that will take place next week on the 18th. That is next week, yes. So we will be discussing with the advisory the next steps, but also that will allow an external eye to look at the results so far and the direction that we should take with the work that's been done by the regional regional experts. Some issues that are on the table still are how we define the NARS, as all regions are working with one definition now, but in the work, some issues have come up as to how we incorporate other definitions that go beyond what we have established in relation to the GNC. In other words, that might, in Africa, they have sub-regional research organizations, SROs, that are very important in the Africa regional agricultural research system, such as CORAF, and in West Africa, and Asareka in Southern Africa. And so we are having to adapt to ensure that we give them their space in the construction of the GNC, and we will have to adapt according to the diversity of each region. The specificity of each region in that case, and then see how to connect the different levels from local to regional, local to national to regional in each in the context of the global consortium. This has been outlined as one key challenge and an issue that we need to address in the coming weeks. There will be a meeting after the advisory group meeting. There will be another meeting with CJIR and National Agricultural Research System representatives to see how we develop the GNC in relation to the and develop synergies across countries and across systems, taking into account the CGIAR framework and their own their way of working, and the NARS and then to see how we can interact or take this into account in the process of developing the consortium. And then I think you have already probably discussed the declaration and that led to this effort. Just to underline that the GNC was established to strengthen and amplify the global voice of NARS, but also to support capacity building and to support the development of approaches and capacities, and also to help mobilize resources and increase the voice of national agricultural research systems in international settings, such as the CGIAR, but also in relation to donors and resource mobilization. And with a second declaration at the launch event somewhere later this year. We'll update you when we've got further information on that, on the date and the location. But the idea is that at that launch event, National Agricultural Research Systems will be represented. Then we'll be able to clarify some of these issues and maybe develop a new declaration that maybe has a refined definition of the National Agricultural Research Systems that incorporates this diversity across the regions and reflects it better. And then that will enable us to move forward in earnest to establish and implement the GNC. Sorry, one thing I should mention is that we are collating all the results from the surveys that are being undertaken in the context of the regional fora, and we will share the results of this survey, and which we included in the verification and categorization process for NAS across the regions. We will include the results of that in the overview report that's going to be prepared, and that will feed into the next stages of the work.
Thank you very much, Dr. Karim, for this elaboration and further information on the GNC. So I guess there will be lots of work, but we would like also to inform our participants later on with the process, with more information after each meeting. We might end up also with another regional meeting, I think, before the global launch, to clarify further and elaborate further on the launch, before the launch. We mentioned that the global launch will be in June 2024, so I think it might be delayed a little bit. Or is that...
Sorry, yes, that was the plan. I've just heard that maybe we, from our colleagues in the CGIAR, it was supposed to be connected to a CGIAR meeting. And that,
right, okay.
We haven't got confirmation that we can do that. Got other opportunities to connect the launch to a relevant global event. That's the only reason for my hesitation there.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
We hope to clarify that soon.
Okay. Excellent. So I think if we don't have any further comments, I would like to thank you again for your presence, attendance, participation, your dedication in supporting the GNC, and I hope for continued connections with everyone in the NARS system. Thank you. Dr. Rida, if you wanna...
Well, thank you, Dr. Karim. And I would like to thank GFAR actually for the efforts they put in this initiative, and the declaration of the consortium and the work they are involved with, and the efforts to come, because we are still on the way to really work for the establishment of the consortium. So I would like to thank also the colleagues who joined us today, the discussion we had this morning, and the understanding actually of the need of the region and the efforts to be done in this direction, to get collaboration, capacity building, and also to work jointly with the private sector, because by the end we should get to the beneficiaries of our work. Dr. Nail, also I would like to thank you actually for the work you have been doing in order to get us today, and for the nice presentation you gave us about the consortium and what you are doing. So at AARINENA actually will put every effort to work with you in order really to get this initiative a reality, and to get the people to work together, because I think by the end in the region we need to work with other regions, and also we need to work with international forums, and to work with the different forums who are involved with the kind of work which we are doing. So I'm sure sometime we'll be having another meeting to brief you about the progress of this work, and by the end we will be getting together in sometime maybe in June or maybe after that, in order to launch this consortium. But at the same time, if there are any questions, if there are any comments, if there are people you would like us to communicate or to contact them at AARINENA, will be very happy to do that. At the same time, Dr. Nail also still working on this project. So if you need any information, I think now we have the right people to contact in order to get this job done. So again, thank you so much, and you have a nice evening. And sorry for being a little bit late, but I know the time difference is always creating these problems, because many times I get to the meeting, there is no meeting. Many times I get to the meeting and people are done with the meeting. So thank you so much.
You were on time, as always. No. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Thank
Rida.
you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dr. Naim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks for this meeting.
Thank you.